Hey, welcome back, everybody. Time for my week 5 Rams up, straight up picks. And, everybody's been struggling this year in their straight up picks. It's been a very bizarre season so far. Lots of upsets, lots of really difficult games to pick, and people getting a lot of games wrong, to be quite honest with you. And I finally got back to even. And as pitiful as that may sound, I think you'll find a lot of people are in the same situation. I have caught and passed Pete Prisco, though. He's the one CBS expert that I have been tracking and comparing to just for fun. No offense, Pete, if you stumble across this. I think you do a good job, and I think I compare favorably to you or pretty close anyways. And, well, we'll find out by the end of the year if that's true or not. Right now, I am dead even, 32 right, 32 wrong. Pete slipped to 31 and 33. I was 10 correct, 6 wrong this past week, week 4. Pete had 7 correct, 9 wrong. Now we picked 5 games differently. We split on 5. 4 of them went my way, and that was the difference. I picked the Vikings, the Colts, the Bucs, and the Raiders, and he picked the Titans while I picked the Dolphins. So really broke my way in that regard. But let's see if we can keep it up week 5. There's a couple really tough games to pick. Let's get to it. Now we got some teams on bye, so a reduced slate. Let's get into it. My week 5 Rams up, straight up picks here. Okay, Thursday night, the Bucs at the Falcons. Falcons favored by 1.5. I thought it might be a pick'em game. And by the way, I have not looked at Pete's picks. I don't even think they're out when I'm recording this. But I'm going to roll with the Bucs. So the visitors have won the last 2 in this. And by the way, one thing I haven't spent enough time doing is looking at the history between these teams. I always look at the history between the Rams and their opponent, not so much all these game picks, but I did that a little bit this time. And visitors have been winning, and the last 2 games the visitors have won anyways. Series pretty dead even. The Bucs are up 31-30, and the Falcons, a very fortunate win, a 58-yard field goal to win last week. The Bucs trounced the Eagles after underperforming the prior week. The Bucs are the better team here. The Falcons are the home team, obviously. I'm going to roll with the Bucs. I think Baker Mayfield he's been playing really well. This is a big game in this division. If the Bucs can win this, they're really going to be in the driver's seat as far as with respect to the Falcons anyways. We'll have to see what the Saints do. But a really critical game in the NFC South, and I'm going to take the Bucs. Then we have the Jets at the Vikings. Vikings favored by 2.5. I thought it might be more, but I think what the consensus will be that the Jets defense is going to throttle the Vikings a little bit, keep it a little bit lower scoring than what we've seen from the Vikings recently. They've just been putting points up on the board. So the Vikings are going to win this game. I think they're going to win it by more than 2.5. I just don't see if there's any other way of looking at this. These teams have only played 12 times, and Jets have a big edge, but the Vikings have won the last 3. So going with the Vikings here. Third game up here, Panthers at the Bears. Bears favored by 4. Now, if you watch that Rams-Bears game, I'm sorry, you can't really be impressed with the Bears. You can't, I don't think that was really a great performance by them. Rams kind of gave it away in a lot of ways. Bears earned it on the ground there late. And they won it with their red zone defense. The Panthers come in, and Andy Dalton's been getting it done. They have been competitive. I think the Bears are going to have a letdown, and I'm going to take the visitors in this one, and I'm probably going to be in the extreme minority. Just a gut feeling here. Panthers, Bears fans are all excited. They got their second win. Let's roll. Let's go, Caleb Williams. And I think the Panthers are going to spoil it for him real quickly. Ravens at the Bengals. Ravens favored by 2.5. Big AFC North game. The Bengals off to another slow start. Finally got their first win. They're 1-3. The Ravens started out at 0-2 as well, and they've won 2 straight, beating the Cowboys and the Bills. Pretty impressive. This is going to be a close game. This happens with the Bengals. I haven't done the research, but I can almost guarantee you they are a streaky team. Losing streaks to start the season, then they finally figure it out. If Joe Burrow stays healthy, they'll finish strong. If not, they're pretty much done. But I think the Ravens are, hey, you saw my power rankings. If you haven't seen them yet, I have the Ravens as my number 2 team right now, and they will win this game. The Bills at the Texans. Is this the game of the week? Texans have been struggling a little bit, underperforming. Got trounced by the Vikings, barely beat the Jags. I think the Bills are going to win this game. The Bills are favored by 1. They, a blip on the radar against the Ravens. Just one bad outing will give them a pass, as I tend to do. Good teams, they have bad outings, and I think that was a tough outing for the Bills. They'll bounce back and beat the Texans. The Colts at the Jags. Jags favored by 3 at home. Good outing by the Colts last week. Their run defense was atrocious for 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks, they've gotten it together. But I think the Jags, they've been close, and they're not a horrible team despite their record. They really aren't. I think they'll figure it out this week and get the win at home. Roll with the home team. Roll with the home team that is favored in this one. 2 teams that are, they're not bad football teams. Fairly even game, in my opinion. As the point spread would indicate, home team favored by 3. Vegas really sees it as a pretty even match. This is Joe Flacco versus Trevor Lawrence, by the way. Let's see what else we got. The Dolphins at the Patriots. The Dolphins, man. Wow, they've won. Let's see, they've won 6 out of the last 7 in this series, but their quarterback situation. Hey, maybe they'll make a trade for a quarterback. It might be wise for them to do that, because if they have just an average quarterback, if they had someone like Joe Flacco or Andy Dalton, Dolphins would probably still be contending for a playoff spot. But their current situation, that is not the case. Patriots favored by 1 at home. I think they're going to win this game. It's going to be a low scoring, a game that Patriots are going to are going to control the tempo of this game and win it with their defense. Browns at the Commanders. Commanders favored by 3 at home. Hey, I'm not picking right now. I think I'd pick the Commanders over just about anybody in the league, and I'm not joking. Right now, they are the best football. I don't have them at the top of my power rankings, so it may sound a little contrarian. Need to see more from them before I jump them all the way up to the number 1 spot. Look at what the Vikings have done. So, love the Commanders. Commanders, Vikings right now. Who would I pick? I'd probably pick the Vikings. But in this one, I'm taking the Commanders, the home favorite. Roll with them. Raiders at the Broncos, and the Broncos a bit of an enigma. They're winning with very little offense, and the Raiders a little bit in disarray. Is Devontae Adams on his way out? Could be by Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. I'm taking the Broncos. Again, another home favorite, favored by 3. Still like Bo Nix a lot. I'd like to see him have one really good outing with his arm. But I think he's going to work out for the Broncos in the long run. Cardinals at the 49ers. 49ers are favored by 7.5. And it looks like CMC still won't be there. Not sure about Kittle. But the 49ers are going to win this game. Cardinals coming off a really bad loss to the Commanders. But I think the Cardinals will cover. I think the Cardinals will keep this close. Take the Cardinals in the 7.5 points. That might be my bet of the week if I was a betting man, but take the 49ers straight up. Let's see. We get the Giants at the Seahawks. Seahawks favored by 6. I think the Giants will keep it interesting. Apparently, their offensive line is starting to play well. That's what I read anyways. But Seahawks at home, tough to pick against them in this game. They have something to prove after a bad loss in Detroit. I mean, they made a game of it into the second half. A lot of things just broke against them, which never happens against the Seahawks. It really pretty rare. So maybe that Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson magic has disappeared forever. We'll have to see. Cowboys at the Steelers. Steelers favored by 2.5. They're at home. This was probably the toughest game for me to pick. Cowboys are going to be down a couple guys on defense. Steelers defense has been playing really well, but I think the Cowboys are going to find a way to put some points up. Dak Prescott is a really good regular season quarterback. This is a tough matchup for them. Coming off a trip to New York, now they go back to Pittsburgh. But I just, the Steelers offense just doesn't really excite me. Justin Fields, he's going to have to do some damage with his legs. Going to be a close game. I'm kind of this is a coin toss game for me, but I'm going with the Cowboys. I just think they're the better team, even without those two defensive stars. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb could be the difference makers here. Now we get the Saints at the Chiefs, another very interesting game. Chiefs are favored by 5. They're at home. These teams don't play very often. I think it's the, 12th time they've played, something like that. And I'm really, really tempted to take the Saints, but I just don't see the Chiefs losing at home. This is a game I wouldn't touch straight up or with the point. The Saints will probably cover. I think they'll keep it interesting. Chiefs defense is going to have to rise to the occasion. No Isaiah Pacheco, no Rashid Rice, Kareem Hunt, the primary ball carrier still apparently. But I'll take the Chiefs, and I don't feel real. I really want to take the Saints, but I just have the sense that I'd regret it. And then we have the Packers at the Rams. Rams 3.5-point underdogs at home. So you know what that means is, well, are they really giving the Rams points for the home field advantage? There's going to be a lot of Packer fans there. And don't discount the Rams' chances in this game. If you look at Ian's film studies, this orchestrated Rams study of this game, you'll see that the Rams, for much of this game, outplayed the Bears. Couldn't get it done in the red zone. And that fumble at the 16-yard line, that was a difference maker. Gave the Bears one short field. Bears did not earn that touchdown. Rams just made it too easy for them. The Packers are a better team than the Bears. Better defensively. Lots of weapons on offense. Josh Jacobs is the one that really concerns me. Rams secondary, as much as we slam them, they actually did a good job eliminating big plays by the Bears wide receivers. And the Bears have some good wide receivers, right? DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze. They didn't do a lot against the Rams defense. So now you got the Packers with Jordan Love. They got Tucker Kraft at tight end and some good receivers. Josh Jacobs is the difference, though. The Packers are going to hammer away at this Rams defense until the Rams can prove that they can stop it. But I got this feeling. I got this weird feeling that the Rams are going to finally have some breaks go their way. A strip sack, a pick six, especially if D. Will plays. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction here. D. Will's going to have a pick six. Now, hopefully, he better play after I made that prediction. I think he will. The fact that the Rams moved Cam Lampkin, the defensive back, the cornerback, off their roster, I think it was Tuesday, it's an indication D. Will's coming back. Unless it's an indication Witherspoon is in game shape, ready to take on more than 11 snaps like he did last week. But one of these guys is going to make a big play. The Rams are going to get a couple turnovers finally. And, if you look at this, the 49er game in the second half, a lot of things broke the Rams' way. And every other game that they've played, very little has broken their way. Just weird plays that have gone against them over and over and over again. Inability to bring down quarterbacks, great receptions by the opposition, missed opportunities at takeaways. Hey, this is the game. Things break the Rams' way. Rams win. Not predicting the score here. I'll save that for my Rams-Packers preview. Rams get to 2-3 going into the bye, and that is just going to be so big for this team. They come back out of the bye a little bit healthier, 2-3, and ready to make a run at a wild card playoff spot and maybe the division championship. I wouldn't go so far as to say that. Their schedule is so tough. I think at this point, our best case scenario is a wild card spot for our Rams. But that's it. That's my Rams Up straight up picks. We'll see how Pete and I do, and we'll compare again next week out here from Rams Up.